Greetings, this is Apostle DoQuoi, the Duke Green, and I pray that each of you are having a wonderful day. I just wanted to make a quick video in reference to those on the dating scene, those who are single, those who may be in relationships, trying to work toward marriage. I hear a lot of people talk about, on Facebook, social media, you can say single in a relationship, or it's complicated. We hear them all the time say, it's complicated, it's complicated. I don't understand why it's so complicated. I can't put it into words. But let's look at the word complicated. Merriam-Webster describes the word complicated as difficult to understand, analyze, put into words, something along those lines. So it's hard to understand, it's difficult to grasp. Okay, so that makes some sense. But if you think about it, dating should be simple. Love is complicated. Dating should be simple, but love is complicated. And we're getting the two mixed up. There are folks who are talking about their dating and a relationship, etc., and it's complicated, but it's a whole lot of gray areas. So when you have all these gray areas, then that means that there's more questions than answers. Some of you said, okay, am I in a relationship? It feels like a relationship. It seems like a relationship, but is it a relationship? They're saying we're not together, but I feel these feelings. They treat me one way today, they flip it tomorrow, so I'm confused. So that creates complexity. That makes it complicated, but it should not be. Dating, hear me clearly, dating should not be complicated, but love is complicated because love is hard to explain. Love is hard to analyze. True love, it builds, it grows. Love is a living organism. True love, God's type of love, it changes you. When you meet the right one, their love changes you, it transforms you. You can't put that love into words because it's so powerful that true love speaks without saying a word. True love changes who you are. Your inner being, it changes everything on the inside of you. It makes you want to do better. It makes you want to give more. It makes you want to love better. That's what true love does. True love builds and builds and builds because it's complex. It's so powerful. This is when we think about God's love. We don't understand, Lord, why do you love me so much? I don't feel deserving of this love. That's that real love when the one finds you and you meet the one. That love will change you. And hear me clearly. If you find someone, you come in contact with someone, start to date someone, if that love is familiar, it's not good enough. If that love is familiar, it's not good enough. In other words, if you've seen it before, if you've experienced it before, now there should be some familiarity in a sense of, okay, I know God's love. Okay, so this is kind of reminding me of God's love. I can see God's love, some of God's love here, but this is different. This is on a whole nother level. Because understand, even when God sends the one, you're going to see God's love. But you're going to see God's love on a whole different level. So there will be a little bit of familiarity, but it's going to be on a whole nother level. It's going to take you to a whole nother level. Because hear me clearly, God does not need any help at the end of the day. God doesn't need help on trying to connect you with the right one. But when we talk about love about dating being simple, but love being complicated, when God sends the right one in your life, it will be a love that you have never experienced before. And why is this? Because when God does something, He does all things well. God does not do repeats. So if you experience a love that you experienced before, if you can compare it to something else, that's not good enough. Because God does not operate in that manner, because every time God shows up, He's bigger than He was the last time. I'm going to say it again. Every time God shows up, He's bigger than He was the last time. So therefore, if you can compare this relationship to another relationship, then it's not good enough. The love is not enough because God's love and that person will change you. It'll change everything about you for the good. For the good. So again, dating is simple, but love is complicated. But many of you have been stuck in that complicated part when it comes to dating, and I just came to make this quick video to make it simple for you. Okay? First of all, of course, if you get into a relationship, before you get into a relationship, there's some folks who will be like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm ready yet. I don't know if I'm ready. Only thing a relationship does at the beginning is two people saying, I don't want to be with anyone else, and I don't want you to be with anyone else. Let's work toward a potential future together. It's that simple. I don't want to be with anyone else. I don't want you to be with anyone else. And let's work toward this future and see what God has in store. And look, and it doesn't take that long. I mean, you think on a job, you get a 60 to 90 day probationary period. So within 3 months, someone should at least know enough to say, okay, I know enough about you to say, okay, let's get into this relationship. Okay? And some people, it takes 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. It takes a woman 9 months to carry a child. 9 months to bring a life into this earth, an entire life. And you may tell me in 6, 7, 8 months, someone still can't decide if they want to be in a relationship or not, but yet they want to express their feelings. But then they want you to express your feelings to them, but they're like, no, I'm not ready yet. Hear me clearly. When there is that gray area, when they're unsure, then that means that it's possible in their mind that they're thinking that someone else can fit into that spot. It doesn't take that long. 3 months should be easy, max. Okay? And look, it is not this, I'm not putting time limits on everything. So again, relationships, dating, it's not a sprint. But at the same time, it's not a slow, snail pace either. It's a marathon. So it's in a marathon, they have a steady pace, a calculated pace. It may start off at a certain pace, may speed up, may slow down a little bit, but it's not a snail's pace and it's not sprinting. Okay? So therefore, dating relations, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. And be careful of those folks who try to rush everything. They come in live, they're talking a good game and trying to rush, because oftentimes they have something to hide. When you see they're pushing, you feel pressured. Love does not come with pressure. Love, it's easy. It comes easy to love. So some of you are in these complicated situations. I'm helping you to make sure that it's no longer complicated. Okay? So you got to make some change, because we talk about finding true love. True love. Dating is simple. Love is complicated. And that's the type of love that God wants to send to you for the one that He has for you. It will be that type of love where you say, Lord, I don't feel like I deserve this love. How can someone love me in such a way? How can I be such a priority in someone's life? That's real love. And some of you have been flirting with it and playing with fake love because it's something better than what you had. And I say it all the time. Just because it's the best thing you've had doesn't mean it's the best thing you will get. Because again, if you can compare it to something else, it's not good enough. True love, God's love, and the one that He has for you will change everything. Everything. You'll find yourself doing things that you've never done and saying things you've never said before. It will change you. Because again, God doesn't do repeats. Every time He shows up, He's bigger than He was the last time. So therefore, let's get off of that whole it's complicated in dating and relationships. When you meet the one, walk down the aisle, get married, that love is complicated, because you can't explain that type of love. You can't put it into the words. There's not enough words in the dictionary to explain the true love that comes from the one that God has for you. That's love, and that's the love that God has for you. So therefore, stop settling for something that's familiar. Stop settling for less than what you know God has for you. Stop settling for fear that time is running out. My biological clock is ticking. I don't know what's next. This might be my last opportunity. Where is your faith? That's an insult to God, that you will say, this might be my last opportunity, so it's not the best thing, but I got to hold on to it. I know I'm not really happy. I know it's not all what I want, but I'm in love with being in love, so I'm going to make it work. That's an insult to God. That's telling God that He's not big enough to send the one your way. Certainly you can't believe that. So it takes faith. It takes faith in God to know that He has this thing worked out. He has it under control. And if you let Him build the story, if you let Him push you toward the one, I promise you, it will be like nothing that you have ever experienced before, because God is a big God. And look, He doesn't have to do reruns. It'll be a new story. It'll be an entire new script that you're going to walk out, living out your history. So you're living out your history and you're on your way towards the one. So remember again that dating is simple, love is complicated, and God wants to send you the God type of love through the one that He has for you. So be encouraged on your journey to one. This is Apostle DoQuoi, the DoQuoi, signing out. God bless you. Heaven smile upon you. See you soon.